Okay, so first of all, we've got to apologize for something. Actually, I take
There's
that
no
back.
we. There's no we. This is my fault. Hi guys.
It
It's
is
a
your
week
fault. I
late.
was a
I'm
yeah. No,
sorry.
we're not. Yeah, we are a week late. We didn't mean to take a break.
No,
But
this was all on me. I
we're
had to
not
work.
we're not even coming back on Thursday. We're gonna have to come back on Friday.
Oh, are we? Cool. You have to upload the video because I have another obligation this Friday that I won't be able to upload it then.
Can't you just like throw it into?
Well, you have to get me the audio in time then. Because
Well,
I'm
yeah, I probably will. You could just schedule it for a premiere, and then you don't have to worry
yeah.
about it.
Yeah. I'm leaving Friday morning, so I hopefully will have time to do that.
Hmm.
Hi, everybody. This is all my fault. So
Yeah.
I had to last week because you see, for long-time listeners, and by that I probably mean just Spelvin. We had in the first season of this podcast, we recorded everything 3 months in advance, and then
Yeah,
did
two to
it
three
and then
months.
released it. And that was great. We should do that again, but we don't.
It'll
We
make
record.
the episodes a lot less topical though, because we're recording this episode. We recorded we batch recorded series one, because I didn't want to just record one episode, upload it, and then not do any of the others. So doing all of the series one episodes at once sort of gave me the motivation to keep going. And
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think that's, and now we can like, because now we record the episodes 2 to 3 days in advance to when they come out,
Yeah.
so that
Or
we have a
less
date.
sometimes.
Yeah, or less. This episode is not coming out. This episode will be coming out on the 25th of February, which is not normally a Thursday; it's a Friday. We will be back to our normal Thursday schedule with the next episode, unless Joe decides to turn around and say no again.
Okay, listen. So let me just explain what happened.
Oh, do tell, Mr. Joe.
So my work is a very small team of which I am like a full third of it. And on the day that we were supposed to record, or maybe the day at before, we had to replace our transformer that gets mains electricity. And that meant on the same day that we were doing a major install of some stuff. And so I spent 16 hours in the coldest day of the month. It was 9 degrees Fahrenheit. That was the high.
Well, I mean, I don't know
And
Fahrenheit, so it's probably like
okay, so
minus
32.
4 to 5.
I was going to say 32 degrees is 0 Celsius. So subtract a lot from that. Anyways, then I spent 16 hours in the dark in this building carrying heavy boxes around for this install because we wanted to minimize downtime, because if we had the power out anyways, we could do everything we wanted to do. And that I seriously, I was there from like 7 a.m. to like 8 p.m., maybe more. It was almost 10. It's almost 10. And then I went home and I died. And then I went in a little bit and did it again. And then generally one of us, we don't really record on Fridays or the weekends because I like having my weekends free, and Emerson sometimes has stuff going on. And that
We
was
should
good.
record on weekends more often. Well,
No, because I like having, because the problem is that
if you
I
can't record on a weekend, at least record on a Monday, because then I actually
I
have.
I try to do that.
I
The
asked Joe if we
problem,
can record on a Monday. Sometimes he can't. The day, more often not, the day we will record is the Tuesday, which is 2 days before the episode comes out. Ordinarily, editing all I want to say is thank goodness our episodes are shorter now. I'm really enjoying the shorter episodes. They're easier to work with, and they tend to perform better overall.
I'm
There's a
doing
point
my
which I'll
best
come back to
to
that in a
make it
second.
short.
But yeah.
But no, the issue is that I wanted to record it this week, which on the Monday, which would have been the 21st of February. But the problem is that this weekend I was in Miami, Florida for my brother's bachelor party. And I'm a very, very boring person. The way that my
That's not
brother is
true.
no, let me rephrase this. When my brother suggested bachelor party, he said that he wanted to go-karting because my brother lives in Miami. And he wanted to go-karting and do a couple of other things like that. And
Is
he
this
didn't really
your
have a
older brother or your younger? You're the second
sec-
oldest, right?
I am the third oldest. There's
Okay.
four of us. This is the
Okay.
second oldest one. He's getting married in April.
Nice.
Uh, and so I'm going back down there. But for the bachelor party, we were going to go
Um,
out.
Sorry
And
to
he
interrupt,
didn't.
but I just
Yeah.
thought I'm not married. I'm not even in a relationship yet. But um I would have thought that stag do's or hen do's, which is what we call bachelor and bachelorette parties in this country, stag being men, hen being women.
Yeah.
Um, I thought those would have happened like the weekend before the wedding.
He's a doctor. He's a
Oh,
doctor. He doesn't have time off. This is when he had time off.
okay. Fair
And
enough. I was just
and so
wondering.
no. I also our family's very non-traditional. For my
Hmm.
oldest brother, when he got married, he barely had a bachelor party. He
Hmm.
didn't do anything of that sort. So
Also, Joe's brother, congratulations on your wedding.
I will forward those congratulations to him
Hmm.
and his fiance.
I don't know if he'll want his name out in public.
Oh no, I'm not putting his name out unless I run it by him first. He doesn't even know I do this
All
podcast.
right.
But
But if
anyway,
I'll offer,
yeah,
if he does give his consent, I will offer a personal congratulations on
yeah,
the podcast episode closer to the time. But
yeah.
until then, Joe's brother, congratulations on your engagement, and I hope you have a lovely wedding.
We hope so too. But the end result was that I expected something that was much more chill, and instead we actually had a full stag do, complete with multiple bar crawls. Which, let me also say this: I'm not normally considered boring. I'm very boring in that if I go out to drink, a lot is like 2 beers in a night, maybe three. And so he drank from like, and he's not. He parties hard, and from like 10 in the morning until like 3 or 4 at night was him drinking. And so I was sober by my own accord, and so that made it really something that I was going through. And then we went till like 4 in the morning all 3 nights. On Sunday we flew home. The plane was late. We didn't get home until 4 in the morning, and so I died. And then I went to work for a little bit,
Were you
and then
resurrected or something? Because I'm talking
yeah,
to you.
let's go with that. It felt like I was dead, and then I worked a half day at work, and then I died again. And then yesterday we were supposed to, and I was watching the episode, and I could barely spell my notes. And then I fell asleep in front of the television and woke up with Emerson because we were supposed to record on Tuesday, and I was watching the episode right before I was going to record this. And Emerson was messaging me like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Man, I fell asleep. No, I'm not." And so here we are today.
I mean, I the thing people might look at me and think, why do I care so much about something that I because we don't make any money from this yet. We would love some sponsors. If you're a small business and you want us to promote your product, please hit us up. But we don't make any money from this. This is purely a hobby. This is purely a passion project of mine. I'm not sure about. I just sort of drag Joe along for the ride. But
I enjoy doing this.
well, I'm glad because you are by contract forced to be my co-host for the next 3 years.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. There's no contract.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, like, sure, I didn't sign anything. That's not, but whatever. Let's keep going.
Um, Also, I want to say a big thank you, not to you, Joe, because you fucked up, but because in either the last episode or episode before last, I mentioned how our viewing figures were dwindling a bit. I want to retract that comment because on the 12th of February, we received our biggest, our most individual listens in one day. There was a huge boom in listens, and I showed it to Joe, and I was so excited. We got because I hate you, Siri. Siri came up. Are you still there?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
also,
Sorry,
speaking of that,
I'm
I
not
have.
done. I'm not done yet. I'm
Oh,
not done yet because this is very important. Sorry, my rhythm broke because you know who came up. But we received the biggest individual boom in viewers on the 12th of February. We got 52 individual plays in one day, and for our podcast, that is amazing. Like
yeah.
the record before that, I think the record was actually broken twice in about 2 days. It went from like I don't want to waste time and pull up the exact numbers, but it went from like the previous record before it was broken in a couple of days was like 29 in December, and then it was broken to like 30 on like the 10th or the 11th of February, and then it might have been broken again, but it was certainly broken one more time to 52 on the 12th. And yeah, that made me really excited. We also received in the 7 day period, we received our first triple figure listening numbers as well, which made me very
Oh,
happy
great.
for 7 day period.
And actually, on that subject, we actually did get our 18th YouTube subscriber this week.
Yay.
Someone subscribed. I was so shocked because I normally just get like, oh, we also got a spam email about sponsorship. I was going to mention it to you.
Oh,
Someone,
was, was it a scam?
well, okay. Subject line offer Xiaomi with an email that ends in .cz from the Czech Republic. Good afternoon. In near future, we plan to release a new line of laptops and smartphones and want to start cooperation with YouTube bloggers. Our team is planning to step into the future, and we have chosen your channel to participate in an advertising campaign for our new line of laptops and smartphones. Period! Exclamation point. For many years, it just keeps on going like this, and it's like there's a
Well,
non-disclosure agreement they want us to sign, and it's like, and carefully study our video and inform me about your decision. Insert our video or create your own. We will pay.
good on you
And
for
it's
not going along with it.
why would I go along with something that can't even capitalize the subject line? It's lowercase o offer capital X Xiaomi. I'm not doing that.
If you're a content creator, whether you're small or big, or sort of in the range where you need or you're having sponsors, don't go with these people. I've forgotten what their name is already, but oh well. Anyway, nothing interesting happened really in my life of report.
I wish
Any,
nothing interesting had happened.
anyway, I think at the 13-minute 12 mark, we can say hello, welcome to Series 5, Episode 4 of Your Time Starts Now, a Taskmaster podcast.
Residue around the hoof.
I am Emerson.
I am Joe.
And let's go. We haven't actually planned in advance who's going to be taking which task.
You can do the prize task if you want to.
Okay. I swear I always do the prize tasks, but oh well.
I've always thought that I do always do the prize tasks. So
we should plan this, and we should plan this more in
next
advance.
time we should do it at the same time. We should just talk over each other.
We could do it so like you've got me coming out through one headphone and you coming out through the other.
Yes, exactly.
So then the people will have to like take their headphone out.
Turn your balance fader all the way to one side for the Joe commentary and all the way to the other for the Emerson commentary.
Not today. Maybe another day. Anyway, Taskmaster Series 5, Episode 4, Residue Around the Hoof. Or is it hoof or hoof?
Hoof. This is a Bob Mortimer quote, in case you couldn't guess. But I think
it depends on where you're from. I used to say hoof, but I've sort of transferred to saying hoof.
I've usually just said hoof. I'm not.
Maybe it's all the American TV I've consumed.
Maybe.
Like I still say, because like I know people say the double O sound effect. It sounds like either or oon. So it's like the as in book, or the oo as in
Oh no,
moon.
you've got to give up on pronunciation rules if you're in the United States. You got to go with local customs. There's a town about 10 miles from where I live right
Oh
now.
God.
It is spelled okay. There is a
Before you
borough.
complain about before you
No,
complain
no, no,
about town spelling in your country,
no.
what
That's not what
about
I'm
things
saying.
like
It is
Worcestershire?
no,
Did I just say Shire?
no. Hold
Worcestershire.
on. No. Hold on. You're gonna love this. There is a borough in London
Yeah.
where the mean time is. What is its pronunciation?
Greenwich.
Okay, about 15 miles away from me, where I mailed your birthday present card out because I had to drive through it for something. I mailed it from that city's post office. The city of Greenwich, Ohio. Actually, village of Greenwich.
And
Spelled the exact same way. Greenwich. It's a small village with like with like 2,000 people, if that.
are you complaining at the way it's spelled in America or England or the UK?
And the way it's spelled in America, it's
Well,
pronounced in
it's
America.
pronounced, sorry. But yeah.
It's Greenwich. Also, I'm also really mad about this because I also live near the town of Milan, Ohio. Not Milan, Milan, which is
Do you think if you I think a basic rule of thumb should be the most common or the most famous location that has that common name should be how all other locations of the same name are pronounced? Or would that sort of take away the uniqueness of it?
no, because you have to understand that being different is how these people like to differentiate themselves. So at no point would they ever actually go along with that.
Uh, okay. Price task. But first, banter. Alex hasn't seen his children in a year. no, sorry. No, sorry. Alex's kids, which we've established, and he has seen them this year. I say this year, the year the show takes place in. He claims he has 2 boys and a boy, so he claims he has 3 sons. And Greg calls Alex a bad dad, which I thought was a bit harsh.
So did the audience. Also, things to note outside of the banter is that the floral shirt count is again at 2. Ashling and Sally are both wearing lovely floral print shirts. A shirt for Ashling, a dress for Sally.
Next series, shall we have a jingle for the floral shirt count? Like,
yes,
the floral shirt count. Da, 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 da.
yes, with like faux Hawaiian or Polynesian music, like da da da, like the ones you always associate with Hawaii.
Yeah. Also, I'm planning to. I had this fun idea where I could like change what I say during the Taskmaster Joe jingle. So it's like it's the same music, but I change what I say in it.
Oh, cool.
By that I mean, so it's like instead of saying to Taskmaster Joe, I could say something like, "Yeah, your mother's a hoe."
No. What you should do is you should localize it to different languages. So like to Meister Joe, or something like. Or
I
something
should have.
like
I
that.
should have done that. I should have done "Talk to Meister Joe" when it was.
Yeah,
For
when
the,
it was that.
oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh well, I don't have that time.
Yep.
We'll find a way. I deserve a segment as well.
We'll have to come up with one.
Yeah. Anyway, the prize task is the most extraordinary souvenir, and Sally's up first, and she has brought in ABBA Monopoly, and this comment by Greg. The comment by why Greg is not a big fan of it has aged not very well, I think.
No.
Because-
I have opinions on this. I have opinions on ABBA.
Let me say. Greg says that he's okay with ABBA's music, but he is annoyed that they will not reform. And this
or
comment,
that they're like they're will they or won't theying, which is obviously out of date.
yeah, this comment didn't age very well because ABBA got together again. Well, technically they quote unquote reformed in 2016, but they didn't like release music until last year.
So what ABBA did is they released their newest album called Voyage, or maybe Voyage. And
I
it's
haven't listened to it, and I
honestly
don't really intend
okay.
to.
It's okay, and I'm really annoyed by that because I have been waiting for a new ABBA album for my entire life. And do you know what I want in an ABBA album? I want an ABBA album that grabs you by the serotonin and slams your head into the wall, like Dancing Queen or Mamma Mia or Voulez-Vous or any of the
All
other
the
songs that.
all the like classic ABBA songs
And
are iconic. Those are
yes,
songs that cannot be
and
matched.
do you know what those songs didn't do? Any of that. Nothing on that song except for one. And I cannot remember for the
Is this
life of
songs
me
on
which.
the Voyage album or the?
Yes. No, none of the songs on the ABBA Voyage album, except I think Don't Shut Me Down, or were actually any good. I did not like, they were just like okay. They were just sort of like second tier songs. But the problem is that, and the only one that wasn't was, I believe it's Can't Shut Me Down, Don't Shut Me Down, which I want to. Yeah, I think it was Don't Shut Me Down, or maybe it was something else, but they recorded that one during the Voulez-Vous recording sessions in the 70s,
So
which is why it actually, which is why,
that's why
and
it's
they just,
quite good.
and they never released it, and it was just really, Just a Notion. Just a Notion was recorded in 1979 along with the rest of the Voulez-Vous album and never got released
Damn.
until 2021. And that's why Just a Notion is the best song on the album. And it's obvious, and which is not saying anything, because Just a Notion is like, if you put it on like a best of ABBA CD, on a best of ABBA like CD compilation, it would be on like the back of disc 3, because it is not like nearly as good as anything else that ABBA has done in ages.
Is ABBA very popular in the States?
Yes. ABBA is disco. ABBA is like the example of Euro disco.
Yeah, because obviously, like, ABBA is very, obviously it's very, very popular in Europe, and yeah. So I thought that
there's been a running production of Mamma Mia in New York and Las Vegas for like 20 years.
Yeah, the Mamma Mia musical is. I've not seen it.
Yeah,
I've not seen the Broadway show. I saw the first movie, not seen the second one.
The second movie is great. The second movie is great because you think that for about the first half of the movie that it's just a shitty sequel where they can only afford Pierce Brosnan, because spoiler alerts for Mamma Mia 2. Here we go.
Actually,
again.
Please don't spoil it, because you're saying you saying it's good actually makes me want to see it.
Okay, well, just the only thing is that half of the cast doesn't show up for half of the movie, and it actually works out great in the film, but you get this moment where it's like, where you've been thinking for the entire movie, oh, they could only afford Pierce Brosnan, and then suddenly everybody else comes into the film, and it's like, oh shit, this is a storytelling decision, not a budget decision. And it's actually it was really good.
We could spend ages talking about ABBA. When the 5 hour bonus ramble episode between us comes out, in which I will do no editing for other than fixing our voices, we could discuss something there. I'd love to do just like
last thing on ABBA, on Mamma Mia, or ABBA in general, is that this is a fun little fact, because I don't think many people know this, is that the song order that the musical goes in is actually almost perfectly aligned with the track list on the 8-track version of ABBA Arrival, which is like one of their first mainstream albums.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if it's like the cassette version, but I happen to own the 8-track tape of ABBA Arrival, and it starts with When I Kissed the Teacher and proceeds in line with the songs in the film.
How fascinating. I haven't seen the original Mamma Mia film in a very long time, but maybe I should rewatch it. Mark Watson. Mark Watson,
yes,
has brought in a Q8 t-shirt. And the funny thing about it is that he wasn't allowed into Q8, so he bought the T-shirt from eBay instead.
Why
So he's
wasn't he allowed into Q8? Does he ever say? Do we ever hear about that?
I don't think we do.
Like, does he ever mention it anywhere else?
No, I don't think he does actually.
Huh.
But I think it's funny. It's amazing how we can find tangents to go on about one person and not many for another.
Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't have much to say about your T-shirt, Mark. But it's just like,
It's a
with
fun
ABBA,
T-shirt.
yeah. But with something like ABBA Monopoly, there's so many branching paths.
Well, the only thing, the problem with the T-shirt is that he says I wasn't allowed into Kuwait, and there's got to be a good story in that, and then he just doesn't.
Yeah,
He doesn't go
very
into it,
true.
which eliminates a lot of our possibilities because I got nothing else. I got no idea.
Nish Nish sets this up. I would say very badly because Greg
Can we
basically.
just can we drop the soundbite of how that first goes?
Yeah, we can do.
I have brought in a single leaf.
Shit, Bob, what have you brought?
So what Nish has actually brought in is a single man-made leaf from the set of The Lord of the Rings, which Nish just stole when he went
after
to
that turned
New
into
Zealand.
like a tourist attraction.
Yeah, yeah. Well, fun fact: when Nish went to go to the Lord of the Rings set to get that leaf, he ran into his New Zealand twin, David Correos.
Really?
No, I'm just making that up.
Oh, okay.
Bob, what, are you sad?
No. I was just like, I was wondering where you heard that from. And it's like, okay, no, that was just a joke. Moving on.
Yeah, because I've said numerous times that David Correos and Nish Kumar have a lot in common. Bob has brought in a giant stuffed Woody Woodpecker that he won at like a holiday park in Spain. Is it Spain?
Yeah, he did say Spain. It's the equivalent of Butlins.
Do you know what Butlins is?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I do.
I mean, as an American obsessed with British culture, I'd assume you would have known.
No, actually, fun fact. I learned about it because James May has written several books on various things, on like how to do these improbable things, and one of his how to do this guides was how to tunnel out of Butlins like it's the Great Escape. And I think how to land an A330 Airbus and other skills for the modern man.
I have been to because my family is extremely middle class. We have two houses. Well, we have two family-owned houses. One is in London, and the other is in the county of Somerset.
Okay.
You got it's in the West Country, kind of.
I don't know where Somerset is. I'm like trying.
It's basically it's like 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 on a bad day, west of London.
Okay, is that near Skegness? Is that near Butlins?
Well,
I don't know anything else.
It's basically it's on the coast, and directly opposite is there's a body of water, and just beyond that is South Wales.
Okay.
That should give you a sort of rough idea of where it could be. And there was a Butlins in the town nearby, which I went to a couple times. It's fun when you're under the age of 13. As you get older, you lose. It was less for me. They had a cinema though, but it was one of those pretty mess cinemas where it would show films that were out at the time, but it would never screen more than two different films in a single day.
Okay.
Like it would show like one film at like 11 in the morning, another film at 2 in the afternoon, and then the first film at like 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
But Bob won this at the holiday park, and he did so for how long did he spend trying to do this?
5 days it took him.
5 days. And he said something about I'll just drop the soundbite in here. He mentioned something about winning the big fucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which,
Hold on.
I've
Hang
been
on.
to these sort of.
Hold on. I just want to do the click to get us back in.
And I took my kids to like Butlins in south of Spain, and they wanted that. And you know, when your kids are young, you want to make their dreams come true. So I spent 5 days trying to get that one because it was the ping pongs, but there was one ping pong right at the top. If you get that, you got the big fucker.
And I just want to say that when I go to these places, because I've been to these kinds of places with my mom, after a while she just gets fed up and just fucking buys them. She's like, how much? I'll just buy it. No skill, money.
If you see a prize at the, don't give your money to these people at fairs to win prizes. Even if you get lucky, it's probably after several tries. You're better off just buying the thing.
Yeah, go on Alibaba and just buy a gross amount of them from and that's
or
a technical
AliExpress.
term. AliExpress, Alibaba.
AliExpress is very popular in Spain, actually, but that's another story. Aisling has brought in her genuine baby teeth, which her mother kept from her as a child.
That's not a souvenir. I don't understand what that's supposed to be other than creepy.
Do you understand what a souvenir is?
Is it? I think I don't, because
a souvenir is a. I'm going to absolutely murder Siri. A souvenir is a memento. So it's something that you bring with you. Something you bring with. Basically, it's a reminder, kind of. So it's like a souvenir when you go to. If you went on holiday to Australia, for example, a souvenir might be a fridge magnet with the Sydney Opera House on it. But
I have that.
Okay, fair enough. But a souvenir could also be like
do you want to know where I got it? In the Sydney Opera House gift shop. That's exactly what a souvenir is.
I just made that up on the spot. It's not that impressive.
But also,
it's impressive you had it. But
in my head, a souvenir is only something you get on vacation or something.
No, a souvenir can also be a souvenir can be a memento as well. So, if you still had your favorite stuffed animal from when you were a child, that is a souvenir from your childhood.
Yeah, but but I get, okay, fine. Aisling having her own teeth is still creepy.
It is creepy, but it still wins her 5 points.
Yeah, not from me.
Oh yeah, well, I can't wait to hear Taskmaster Joe on this. And I can't wait to rattle through the rest of the task because we've spent so long talking about the prize task. But anyway, Aisling B gets 5 points for her creepy mother. Nish's Lord of the Rings leaf gets 4. ABBA Monopoly from Sally gets 3. Mark's Kuwait shirt gets 2. And Woody Woodpecker from Bob gets 1.
Okay, drop the Taskmaster Joe. Drop the Meister Joe theme.
No, it's just Taskmaster Joe. Sorry to disappoint you all. Taskmaster Joe.
So yeah, there is a 5 involved in it with Aisling, and it's what place she's in last. Mark, because that's fucking creepy. Listen, I guess that can be a souvenir from her mom. That's not her. It's weird. It's weird. It's fucking weird. I want it down. Go away. Fourth, Mark Watson. If you had a good story to go along with the souvenir, you might have gotten higher, but you didn't. Sally, 3rd place, because she actually didn't say what it was a souvenir from, but I am giving her higher up than the other two, mainly because you just get a deep little glimpse into Sally's mind, because she says that she brought it in mainly to make Greg sneer, which she'll hopefully find sexually arousing, which I'm so concerned by. And it's we're just going to put that 3rd place nice and easy. Nish gets 2nd because that's actually good. Nish gets 1st. I'm sorry, Nish gets 1st. I misread my own notes. And then Bob gets 2nd. Because Bob, the thing is extraordinary to him, and it's really cool. And then Nish gets 1st because, well, listen, it's the only thing I would consider to be an actual extraordinary souvenir.
Okay. Okay, you can take the very first task, which is
Yes.
um,
Task me.
an exceedingly English-speaking Commonwealth thing. Make Marmite.
Yeah, what is Marmite exactly?
Marmite is very hard to describe. It's made of like beef extract or yeast extract, and it's basically Marmite in this country has become the definitive word for something that people either love or hate. That's why Alex says you will either love this task or you'll hate it, because people generally
Ah,
either love or hate Marmite. And so if you would describe a situation like, um, as if you describe a situation as very Marmite, it's either you love it or you hate it. Like for some people, clubbing is very Marmite because you either love it or you hate it.
that's fascinating. Also, I would like to just take this brief moment to give a shout out. While we were on our unscheduled break, there is a new website that launched, taskmaster.info, which was launched by a guy named Carl Craven. He posted about
Oh
this in
yeah, I think I did hear about this. I
Taskmaster subreddit.
briefly looked at it, but yeah.
This is an exhaustive breakdown of everything Taskmaster. Uh, has like episode titles, point descriptions, task descriptions. You know, like how I've been pausing the show to write down verbatim what people say when they read
What's
out
it
the
called?
task.
Sorry.
Taskmaster.info. And I've been writing down people's like verbatim descriptions of the task. I don't have to do that anymore. I can just go on taskmaster.info and copy paste it into my notes. This place is great. This is by Kevin Craven. He is he's a guy on Reddit. I really really enjoy this. It's a really good site, chock full of spoilers, covers every Taskmaster show done to date, including has shitloads of extra tasks that may or may not have made it to air. Covers everything else. Alex Horn follows them on Twitter. I would definitely recommend. Okay, if you're listening to this podcast, you're gonna like this website. Just go on there,
Will it?
check it out.
Do you think I will have to? Will we keep up to making notes if this website
Yes.
exists?
Yes, I thought I wouldn't have to, but it actually doesn't say fucking anything about the tasks themselves.
Okay.
Like it says like for today's episode, it actually like we go into oh god, let's just go into task 1 for the not task 1 for the extraordinary souvenir. There is literally no information about what the tasks are other than like a picture.
Whoever. What was the person who made this website called again?
His name is Carl Craven. Carl with a K.
Carl Craven. We are giving constructive feedback. We are not diminishing in any sense of the word
Oh
the
no, this
effort
is
that you've put
amazing.
into this
This
website.
is an amazing website.
If you don't have the time to write down verbatim notes of what the tasks do, we more than understand.
Yeah, I'm also willing to donate my notes that I've taken for every episode.
Although, to be fair, I mean, we would probably have to do it anyway, but the fact that we have to take our own notes would encourage us to watch the episodes.
Yeah, I've thought about trying to do this without actually watching the episode, but
Should we
I
talk about
can't.
making Marmite?
Yes, I'm sorry. So this is filmed a little bit weirdly because
I think this
everybody-
is the only task I've been genuinely repulsed by.
well, actually, what's really interesting about this whole episode in general is how they do a lot of these smaller tasks where it doesn't, where like everybody's shown all
There
together.
are a lot of tasks in this episode.
There are.
There are a lot of
Everyone's shown-
subtasks.
Yeah,
There's a
everyone's
tiebreak
shown-
task. There are subtasks.
There are subtasks. Everyone is shown all together a lot of the
Like
time. It
tasks
doesn't
about
matter what
sneeze the
order they're
fartist
in.
are going to be quite hard, like especially the sneeze the fartist
Yeah.
task. That's going to be quite hard to talk about.
I mean, I've got some stuff to say about it, but we have for
Anyway, let's make Marmite.
yes. So we have some questions from the contestants. What is yeast? Is Bovril involved? Bob wants to wither a cow for 40 days. Nish is considering just taking a shit in a jar. Sally is getting drunk. And Nish also wants to use actual Marmite in his Marmite. Greg says this wonderful line, "If you use Marmite, I will be on you like a puma, my friend."
Well, he says
And then
Puma.
Puma, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's all down to
Anyway,
pronunciation, but yeah.
yeah. That's the title of this episode, Pronunciation. Because that's coming
Nah.
up so many. Okay,
I don't like.
then
We'll see if something better comes
Okay.
up.
Then we get a brief montage of actually making the Marmite, because again, everything's just shown all together in this episode a lot of the time.
Yeah. So it's hard to
various
talk about people individually.
Various ingredients include salt plus the memories of meat. No points if you can guess who that's from. Sally just pours booze into jars. Mark tries, just in general. Aisling gets Bovril. All of these look vile. And Coup Marmite, which is
I still think
Nish.
Nish Kumark Watson is better than Wumar.
Maybe. Anyways,
Should I tell you why this task disgusts me? How familiar are you with Marmite?
I've never observed Marmite.
Okay. Let me tell you why this task repulses me. Marmite itself is quite thick in texture. So it's sort of like it's not like it's not like treacle or golden syrup where you can pour it easily. It's one of those spreadable things.
It's like Nutella.
Yeah, it's obviously it tastes nothing like Nutella, but it's similar in the sense where you have to stick a knife into it and then spread it onto whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I find it extremely uncomfortable when I see Marmite that is inconsistent in texture made by these people and is extremely liquidy. Because when something that is supposed to be quite thick, like Marmite or Nutella, is really, really liquidy, it makes you feel uncomfortable.
I don't think I would have ever thought of it that way. I don't.
And also, it's the color of Marmite that doesn't help it. So when you've got like this really liquidy brown stuff in a jar that's just floating around casually, it looks disgusting. It looks like, and I don't want to say this in this, I never wanted to resort to saying this word at all, but it looks like diarrhea. Okay, I'm just going to say
I was going to say all of these, well, except Sally's, do look like varying forms of poop. They just do.
Yes, that's why it looks disgusting.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you were saying. Also, I totally forgot to actually say what the task brief was for this one. It is make Marmite. You have 10 minutes to select your ingredients, then 10 minutes to make your Marmite. Best Marmite wins. Your time starts now. Aisling's is very hot and doesn't smell like Marmite. Selling point is it's edible. It tastes like Marmite. And
although to be fair, Alex does say afterwards, behind Aisling's back, that it tasted fuck all like Marmite.
Yes, it tastes like Bovril and a little like Marmite. Aisling intimidates Alex throughout the remainder of the studio segments because she is mad at him over this, and he seems to be genuinely afraid of her. It looked like baby poop.
Mark's is very liquidy.
Then we get the Marmite. It is very runny, and the audience goes, "Oh." The texture is, quote, appalling, but it does in fact taste like Marmite, much to Alex's shock. Then we get Bob Marmite's Marmite. It's very brown, looks like literal
24
shit.
beef OXO cubes it used.
Yes, 24 beef OXO cubes. However, Alex would probably have guessed it was Marmite if his eyes were closed. Bob didn't want the beef to dominate and so restrained himself to just the 24 OXO cubes. How that makes it taste like Marmite, I don't understand.
Nish.
Then we get Nish Coup Marmite.
The texture of Nish's is awful. Like literally.
Yeah.
It's horrific.
No. Hold on.
It's-
Hold on. That is not the sense that concerns me. Nish
It's
claims
Nish-
it's not a
Nish
million miles
smelling
away
it.
from Marmite.
Nish
Alex
smells it and
says
is sick.
yes, Nish does retch when he smells it. Alex
hell.
says that it's, first of all, very hot, and the sound is worrying.
Yes,
when your
that's why.
food sounds concerning, that's bad.
That's why I said Marmite is not supposed to be very liquidy.
Yes.
So when it rushes around in the container, that's worrying for me.
Yes. Other notable things, they poured it instead of spread it, and Bob went, "Oh fuck," in the studio.
I've gone oh fuck several times.
You can really taste the vinegar and the Marmite. It was liquid, lumpy, and very, very hot, and yet Alex actually really liked it. And then finally, we get Sally, who did so many jars of Marmite that we only get to see 2 of them. The first one is a bright blue liquid that isn't Marmite, it's just absinthe, which Alex pours on toast. And can we just have the soundbite of him biting into it? Because it can't do justice.
We can do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that. And he turned bright purple and couldn't speak for 20 minutes. Following up by that is what Sally deems to be the best Marmite, which has a free toy in the form of a honk and one of those, like a horn, like
clown
horns
horns.
You honk. A clown horn, yes. It looks like jam. There's a lot going on. The third Marmite was shown, but in the overall picture, but we didn't see what it was. Sally, Greg says that Sally misunderstood the task and instead showed Alex the time of his life instead of making Marmite. The points breakdown is
Bob gets 5.
Nish
Nish
gets
is
nothing.
DQ'd
Sally,
because he actually used Marmite.
well, actually, this is very interesting. Greg didn't say he was DQ'd. Greg said he comes in last with 0 points, which I'm assuming is a DQ, but it's very interesting that he didn't actually say the word disqualification.
I was just looking at the I was obviously listening to the episode, but I was also looking at the wiki, the Taskmaster wiki.
Yeah.
For this, so it might have said Nish was DQ'd. But Nish used actual Marmite, so hence why he gets no points. Sally got 2. Unsurprisingly, Aisling gets 3.
Fuck all like Marmite, and she gets 3rd. Mark gets
and she gets
second,
pissed
and
at
Bob gets
Alex.
first. Oh, she gets so mad.
Yeah, Aisling will Aisling wants to assert some sort of dominance over Alex, especially after that special cuddle task.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do Taskmaster Joe?
I don't know what Marmite tastes like.
I
can't do this one. The closest I've had to it is when I was in Australia. I tried Vegemite. It tasted like death. I don't have anything else to go with.
Oh, is that the title? It tasted like death.
Yes, sure.
Although we might have to.
No. Fuck the algorithm. Fuck the algorithm. We're going to call it It Tasted Like Death.
Okay. And I mean, we don't even make any money from it. We'll just say that if the algorithm does attack us, which if it does, fuck you, algorithm. It tasted like perish, so that both titles can work. Okay.
It tasted like death.
It tasted like.
I'm going to send that to you in Discord so we have that written down as an actual memo.
It tasted like death.
We go.
I know Vegemite is very similar to Marmite in the sense that people either love it or hate it, but I've never had anyone describe it like that.
I tried it in the same way. I put it on toast at breakfast and it tasted like fucking death.
I'm sorry. If we had a Taskmaster Emerson jingle, I would do one, but I'm just going to say this right now. if we had Taskmaster Emerson, all of these would get no points. Because this task genuinely disgusted me.
Wow.
Because, like Alex said, when you like what Alex said, like what you said, when your food, the noise your food makes sounds bad, you know you've done fucked up. Anyway, oh great, I get to talk about this task, and I'm very excited. VT task 2: do something remarkable synchronized. And one of my notes is on Mark tries to copy Nish's walk, but Nish, and I as a drama student, I can back Nish up on this comment. When someone is knowingly copying your walk, you walk like you've got severe hemorrhoids, and this is 100% true. Because as a drama student, we don't do it as much anymore, but we used to do this exercise where you had to pick someone in the room, and you had to copy their movements. So, for instance, let's say, for instance, me and you were in a drama class and we did this exercise and I was copying your movements. Someone else in the class who would be copying, who'd chosen me to copy my movements, would be copying me, copying your movements. So, as you can see, it gets more and more complicated and fucked.
This is when I start torturing you guys by like doing splits and stuff, right?
Can you actually do the splits?
I can do 90% of the way to a full split, if not more. I'm very flexible for considering how large I am.
I'm genuinely impressed.
Oh yeah, no, I can do it. It's apparently it's something that most people can't do.
I mean, I'm learning how to do. I don't want to say pole dance, but I can do stuff on a pole. I can go upside down on a pole, which is kind of impressive. Anyway, Wumar, or as I shall call them, Nish Kumar Watson, do a very Laurel and Hardy-esque thing where they're both like, it's kind of like a grainy film. They put on the iconic Laurel and Hardy bowler hats, and they needlessly overcomplicated it, is all I can say.
This was so bad.
It was so bad. I mean,
At no point
Greg described them as clowns.
Yeah. Also,
that was appropriate.
Hold on, I've got another idea. Woo Marmite.
Oh, fuck off. But that's not fair because if they were called Woo Marmite, that meant you either loved them or hated them. But as bad as they were, the Woo Mar duo is unanimously loved.
Also, fun fact, this is actually where the Wumar name came from. Because this is where the Wumar name came from, because Nish says it as they walk into the room at the beginning.
Okay.
Also, did we actually say what the full task brief was?
No.
Okay, it is do something remarkable synchronized. You have a maximum of 30 minutes. Most remarkably synchronized behavior wins. Your time starts now.
Okay. So we've talked about Mark and Nish. They basically prepared breakfast, doing shots of honey and eating something. Was it an egg?
Also, it was a banana. Okay,
it was a banana.
Toast into a toaster, then ate a banana, breakfast whiskey that Mark Watson absolutely cannot keep down, and then did a shot of honey before the toast popped up, but they did not eat it.
In other words, needlessly overcomplicated.
They were never in sync.
Exactly. They were never in sync. I guess they're not Justin Timberlake then.
Nope. I was trying to come up with a joke for that too. I couldn't get it there.
It's not Donnie Wahlberg or Brian Luttrell because they were never in sync.
Donnie Wahlberg was in
Donnie Wahlberg was in New Kids on the Block and Brian Luttrell's from the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're I guess Wumar is in the Backstreet Boys because they weren't in sync.
Or it's not Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees either. I only know Nick Lachey because he hosts Love Is Blind, which is on Netflix.
I'm glad that we can make these boy band jokes. YouTube recently started hard recommending me like 90s boy band music, and I'm like, this is super not my jam, because I think I googled the Britney Spears after she got out of her conservatorship, and it started like, oh, you have an interest in 90s music. Well, motherfucker, don't I have some songs for you?
I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest. On my personal playlist, I do have several Britney, Backstreet, and NSYNC songs.
Oh, so do I now, because as it turns out, I didn't think they were my jam, and they sure are.
And I mean, like, I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys is an iconic song.
Actually, the one I really like is The Call.
Not heard that one. I think it's
in actually the UK, really good, but the music video is fucking wild.
Every person in the UK seems to know I Want It That Way. So when the Backstreet Boys come to perform in the UK, it's sort of like, it's obviously it's one of their flagship songs, but it'll always be like the one that gets people going the most.
Interesting.
Anyway, not quite a boy band, but the Bob, Sally, and Aisling band. They
I had it as the adults plus Aisling.
Yeah. They rehearsed for 15 minutes and recorded Sally giving instructions. This was a better route, in my opinion, because there was nothing to say they couldn't record instructions. So that was kind of like a nice little loophole. But it was definitely within the rules. It was never debated whatsoever. And then one of my favorite moments ever is Bob Mortimer endlessly cocking it up.
Yeah, Bob just slowly gets more and more out of sync, and the audience is fucking howling.
Like, what I love is when Bob makes it, because like he does a back step or something, or he crosses back the wrong way. Either way, he doesn't do the right move, and you can see the look on his face go, "Oh fuck, I've messed up," and all his confidence just goes away immediately. And then he couldn't even remember.
My favorite part of it is the tea spit.
I was about to go there. He couldn't even remember to keep the tea in his mouth. And then Bob, rightly so, proclaims once it's all over,
I was fucking shit.
Yeah, no, I really like that he was supposed to. It's just really funny at watching him go further and further out of sync. But
he just lost confidence in himself. Anyway, Bob's incredibly lucky because his team get 3 points, whereas Wumar get 2 each. Yep. I think you can't do Taskmaster, Joe, because the outcome is exceedingly obvious.
I would give Wumar less points, but who gives a shit? Anyways,
I mean, you'd have to give out 5 points in total.
Yeah.
So the only thing you could get is you would have to give the team of 4 points.
I could totally just not give out points to certain people. I don't have to give out anything.
Anyway, now, do you want to cover the entire of this next task?
Yes.
Or do you want to?
You
just want to do the first? Okay,
yeah.
You want to do the entire task.
You can't do one without the other.
Fair enough. Okay.
So we walk into the yard of the Taskmaster house, and there is a cucumber. There's no cucumber. There's a balloon on a table in front of a chair in the yard, and then some distance away by the fence, there is Alex holding up his iPad with a full room setup. It's got a bunch of stuff. There's a dummy in a sleeping bag. There's a tarp as a backdrop. There's shelves and a rug and ba-ba-da-ba-da. There's a bunch of stuff put on the task is wearing this blindfold, blow up this balloon so that its circumference is the same as the length of a standard cucumber. You have 1 minute. Your time starts when Alex blows his whistle. What that means, because none of them seem to understand it, is as the balloon must be as wide across as a cucumber is long. That is what they're aiming for. None of them really seem to get it. Aisling couldn't blow up the balloon for some reason. Also, Bob's Satsuma, that's been appearing in the background of shots with him all season, is there when he's there. When they take off the blindfold, another task has appeared in front of them, which reads as follows: spot the difference, have a look at the scene in front of you, and explain exactly what's changed since you put the blindfold on. You have 2 minutes. Your time starts now. Now, what's very interesting about this is that Nish actually did comment on the scene that Alex had made before and never did anything. Nobody seemed to go over and inspect it. And then critically, when they were told to find the differences, everybody sat their bitch asses down on the chair where they were across the yard where you can't see fucking anything and managed and just did it from there. Nothing said they couldn't stand up.
That's very, very true. But
And
it's like that's a common thing with Taskmaster.
Oh yes.
You don't seem to realize that you can.
Yeah.
Because Alex always says all the information is on the task. So it never says in the task that you can leave your seat. If there's something you can't do, it will say it in the task.
Yeah. But anyways, so there's a bunch of differences. Do we just want to play the soundbite for that, or do you want me to do it?
It'll save editing, so I wrote them down verbatim. So
I did too.
It'll save time if you just want to rattle them off.
So they put a beard on the dummy. They replaced a lamp on the shelves with a duck, a big rubber duck. The flowers on the table were replaced by a potato. A stuffed animal was swapped out. A squirrel for a cat.
A stuffed squirrel for a stuffed cat.
Yeah, a squirrel for a cat. The sign that said pots was replaced by one that said spot.
I like that because it's a spot the difference game.
Yup. The rug was turned completely around, so the pattern's now upside down.
Yeah.
Alex was replaced. The tarp background was changed to a completely different colored tarp.
And there's a different. Alex is wearing a different hat.
Yes, Alex is wearing a different hat, and the
Alex in quotation marks.
Yeah, and the bottle of water next to the flowers has been replaced with a bottle of wine.
Also, sorry, can I just say, I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but right before the break into the final ad break, Alex is replaced by his stunt double in the studio for the guy who was Alex's stunt double in this task.
No shit, I hadn't noticed.
No.
I was thinking.
Go back and watch the episode. Go right to the 4th commercial break and watch.
I was thinking that they must have done something because it was like they wouldn't do that. Where?
Do you want me to take over for a little bit?
No. Hold on. We can edit this out. I knew they were going to do something. I fucking knew it. Oh shit. They did.
You're lost for words, aren't you?
Oh my God. No, oh wow. They replaced him like mid-sentence.
No, I mean, like the camera cuts away from them, and then it cuts back to Greg.
Yeah,
then it's Alex's double, and I think the whole point.
Oh my God!
The reason that was done is because not a lot of people noticed Alex had swapped out, especially Mark.
Yeah,
so they were trying to catch us out here.
Yeah, no, because they record the commercial bumps separately. Actually, while we're taking a moment to do the commercial thing, the whole commercial things this episode has been Alex wearing playing basketball, where he's throwing a basketball into a hoop.
Yeah.
He has the different numbers of the commercial break on his back, and on the 4th one, he has a watermelon instead of a basketball, and it shatters on the ground.
Ramesh Ranganathan.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Also, did you know Alex had tattoos?
It doesn't surprise me.
Really?
No, not at all.
Okay. I mean, I knew he had tattoos, but it wasn't from Taskmaster that I knew.
I figured that he would. It doesn't surprise me, but
anyway, the second part of the task.
Yes,
we mentioned all the differences. Alex being swapped out for a different guy.
Nobody stands up and inspects the scene. First, we see the adults and Mark. They've split up Wumar for this.
Also,
one.
Alex, the real Alex, acknowledges that he's known Mark for 20 years.
Yes.
The reason he does this is to obviously emphasize the fact that Mark didn't notice Alex had been swapped out.
Nope. They each noticed 2 things, Mark, Sally, and Bob.
Yeah.
What it is doesn't particularly matter.
Yeah. Aisling was the only one who noticed it was not Alex.
Aisling and Nish got many things wrong, but Nish noticed that the dummy had a beard now, and Aisling noticed that Alex was shorter, and then was like, "Wait a minute, that's not Alex," which is really funny. But
Literally,
but
I have in
also-
my notes. It's just like, it's mostly as just a single sentence establishing whether or not they noticed Alex was different, and then for Nish, I just wrote fine.
yeah. But also just a very interesting point. None of them noticed that the tarp was a different color. And also, I really like the way they showed the differences on screen. They actually did a thing where they overlaid a clean plate of both the before and after shots, and then used basically a very easy like mask effect to erase over the upper layer, which was the before image, to reveal the below layer.
Yeah.
It's a very simple thing, and it worked very well.
Also, Greg thought that the cucumber task genuinely didn't mean anything, but he was corrected by Alex.
he did know, but Bob had asked, "Are there any points for this?" And Greg immediately went to shut him down without thinking about it.
Alex corrects Greg, saying that there are actually points for this, and Greg says that he genuinely thought there wasn't anything.
I thought he said that they're genuinely that he knew, but he just was immediately shutting Bob down. Anyways.
No, I think listeners, let us know whether me or Joe is right by emailing us at ytsmpod@gmail.com.
Why don't I just go? I have the episode open.
All right, go and do that. So their scores for the two are combined, which means that I didn't combine both of their scores in my notes because I'm stupid.
Hold on. At 29:01, he says, "Yes, there is," but I just immediately went to shut him down. You've got to listen to it carefully because everyone's laughing and Alex is talking over him, but he absolutely Greg knows, but he just immediately went to shut down Bob.
Oh, well, I like my version better because it goes to show that Greg's not perfect and that he's he's not actually as in control of the show as you might think.
But Big Gregory is always perfect. Isn't that true?
I mean, I think I would probably square up to Greg and then see how much taller he is than me and then just run away.
And then you die.
No, he'd take me aside like he does with Nish Kumar in a later episode and James Acaster in a couple seasons' time. And he's just like, hey, what have you done? What is wrong with you?
I could probably take Greg because I'm probably about the same weight as he is. He's got a couple inches on me, but it's like
Greg Davis is not thin.
No, and neither am I, and I could probably take him.
I am very, very skinny, but you've seen pictures of me, right?
I've seen like a couple.
Yeah, well, I am very. You carry your extra weight quite well, so yeah.
You are very thin. I am aware of that.
Well, I'm not like skinny as hell. I've got some, for lack of a better term, meat, but I'm not. Like,
okay, we're gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's keep going. Did we do the scores?
No, I wrote down the scores separately, but I have not combined them. Have you combined
Spot the difference. No. Spot the difference. Astrid got 5, Mark and Nish got 4, Bob and Sally got 2. This is different from what it says in the Taskmaster.info website. Carl, if you're listening to this, Mark and Nish got 4. You have them getting 2 points per episode. You have them getting 3 points per in this task. And I'm like, no, that's not correct.
Because it says that on the wiki. And also, it's how we get to the final scores.
But they said fourth. They said they got 4. They said they got 4th. Did they mean 4th place or 4 points?
Well, it can't be 4th place because then they would have 2 points each.
Well, they definitely said 4th.
Hold on. So let me add the scores up. So Aisling and Mark both get 8 points. That's their scores combined. Nish gets 4. Bob gets 6. And Sally gets 4.
What were you saying? I was listening to the episode. I was trying to find where they
I
said
was
that.
just looking at my notes and trying to work out what the combined scores for the two were. Mark and Aisling both have 8 for the two parts of VT Task 3. Bob has 6, and Nish and Sally both have 4, according to my maths. Which might not be perfect, but you know.
I'm 100% positive that when I listened to this, they said that Mark and Nish got 4. Here, we might just edit this bit out. I'm going to listen to this for a minute. Hold on.
Where do you want me to cut it out from?
Wherever it is, wherever, because I'm not going to
When
say
we start
anything.
talking about it. The bit where you want to stop talking.
Yeah, no, I'm going to listen to it right now. Just cut all this bit out.
Okay, don't worry. Anyway,
I couldn't find it, but I maintain that I'm right. Also, just to note that that Aisling has this great line about Alex stabbing her in the face because of the Marmite task.
Wouldn't it be stabbing her in the back?
No, she said.
Oh, she says face. She does say stab in the face.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's really great with her Irish accent, the way she says it, the way she draws out the A in face. He
stabbed me in my face.
Yeah,
that was my imitation of it.
Yeah. Anyways, for the cucumber task, Mark 5, Bob 4, Aisling 3, Sally 2, Nish 1, and then there's Nish in it because they did the full scores for the season, and Nish is all the way at the bottom.
Yeah. VT Task 4, sneeze the fastest.
It actually says sneeze fastest wins. Your time starts now. Embroidered onto a tea towel, which I really
handkerchief,
like.
or I think it might be a handkerchief.
Handkerchief.
Which would make more sense for the sneezing task. I don't have a lot to say about this task, if I'm being honest.
Oh, okay, so all I have to say is fake sneezes from Aisling and Sally.
Yeah, and fake sneezes from Aisling and Sally, and then one of them is like, you can't prove we didn't do it. And Greg's like, you're the worst liar since I became a teacher.
That was Aisling. Meanwhile, we have Bob snorting various powders.
He snorts white paper. He snorts white pepper. Nish tries a similar white pepper. It's like very strong.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Neither have I, but apparently it's the strongest type of pepper, most likely.
Oh, also, questions from Bob. What brings on sneezing? Jumping really high?
I mean, I've never tried it, but probably. Anyway, Mark asks if he can film a sneeze later, and then proceeds to send him 8 videos of him sneezing. At least we saw 8 videos.
Would like to point out, Bob did it in 10 minutes, 1 second. Sally and Aisling were disqualified because they did fake sneezes. Nish gave up.
Yeah, he tried a similar approach to Bob after he just stuffed flour up his nose.
Yeah.
And so Mark amazingly gets 4 points.
Nish stuffed flowers and actual flour up his nose.
Yeah.
Like both kinds. And then Mark films himself. Mark takes 48 hours to do a time task.
And amazingly still gets second place.
Yes.
Mark got lucky that day, I'll say that. So the live task,
which I'll do that. Which also
again with the live task, there's not a lot to say about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's bullshit. Mark tried to make himself sneeze for 40 minutes, then promised to sneeze within 2 to 3 working days.
I love when people say just give random things within 2 to 3 working days.
Yep. So anyway, this task. Live task. Stand on one leg for the longest while playing a game of Greg says, Alex says. Your raised foot must remain above the balloon at all times and must not touch any other item. Last person to pop their balloon wins.
I swear this was over in like 2 minutes.
Oh, it was. Absolutely. Because the game is basically whenever Alex says Greg says, just do it.
It's like Simon says. So when Simon...
Except you can... Yeah.
If Greg says it, you do it. If Alex says you do it, don't do it. Easy as.
Yes, or you don't have to. But they're wearing on one foot a like sandal with spikes on it, so if they bring their foot down, they'll pop the balloon.
Yep.
last person to pop the balloon is the winner. Nish has no balance, but strangely enough, Bob is out first,
Yeah.
then Nish. Then there was an instruction on twerking, which Sally fell to at first. Mark doesn't know what twerking is and is like
How?
trying to like move his leg in some sort of fashion, and then he brings it down too far and pops the balloon anyways. And so Aisling wins by default. But this brings us to a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
A
Mark and
tiebreaker.
Aisling are on 24 points each. It's quite a high scoring episode, actually. Two
Yeah.
people on 24, which is a very, very high score even for one person. And then
we
you've got
have seven. We have like 7 tasks in this episode.
yeah, we do. That's fair. So I'll talk about the tiebreaker task extremely quickly.
Fred, we have Fred back.
Well,
in
in
very
spirit,
limited form.
he's back in paper form. Fred the Swede is back, or as I like to call him, Friedrich the Swedrick. And the task is you have to throw a picture of Friedrich the Swedrick into a bin, and the person who does it in the fewest attempts is the winner.
And the difficulty here is that you have to back throw it, as in throw it over your shoulder, while maintaining eye contact with a portrait of Greg that's in front of you.
Yep. Now, how many attempts did Aisling take? It was either 44 or 69. Those are the two numbers.
66 attempts, and then Mark
did it in 15. So
yes.
Nothing to say there. Mark wins.
There is one thing. Aisling, when she finally gets it in, puts the bin on her head and does the victory dance.
Aisling desperately wants to believe that. The thing is, Aisling wants people to respect her really badly, but she just doesn't help herself.
Nope. And then also,
like, she considers herself like Aisling is a very strong feminist, and she, as evident by her coconut business lady from a few episodes ago.
She also had a moment here where she was like, "How come you're calling us the ladies?" And he's like, "Well, I grouped the men too." Greg said, and then he's like, "Okay, fine. Bob and the chicks, or Bob and the hot chicks." Which Ashley's like, "Okay, fine, I'll take that one," and looks pretty pleased. But yeah, she doesn't act very dignified all the time. Also, she thinks that Fred looks like a murderer. Which, in fairness, that picture wasn't the best picture of Fred.
It looked like a picture, you know, that front-on picture of him in the Make the Swedish Person blush task?
That's the same picture.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like a mugshot. And with the white background of the lab does not help. Anyway, it is currently 36 minutes past midnight in the United Kingdom, where I reside.
Yes, I'm sorry. Last 2 things. They finished the episode. Mark wins. Mark wins the episode. Alex is told to go to sleep. He pulls out a fucking dog bed from behind his chair and curls up at Greg's feet and goes to sleep, which is really fucking weird. I'm just going to say this now. A lot of the banter.
Well,
now that
Alex always was Greg's bitch.
Yes, and I'm really not a fan of that. From the way they play that out in the show. I'm always on the borderline of like, this makes me uncomfortable. This is really weird. And then second, and more on a more humorous note, Mark Watson runs up on stage, furiously tears into the sealed copy of ABBA Monopoly, and tries to unfold the board, I guess to hoist it in the air as a trophy, but it's a quad fold board. He cannot fucking get it to open all the way, and he's still fucking with it when they cut the episode, when they've run through all the credits and they cut to the like production company logo.
Damn.
He was unsuccessful because he is just a giant heron in jeans.
Also, I should one final note, and then we will fuck off. Prior to this episode, this is the first episode Mark's won, but prior to this episode, he was actually in the lead, and he still is, because I assume he won the episode. But that just goes to show how, despite not being in first, he is consistent despite not winning an episode prior to this, and I think that's quite a good thing, even though, spoiler alert, he doesn't win eventually. Anyway, I have to go to bed because I'm tired as fuck. Joseph,
go to sleep.
Joseph, it's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Yes, goodbye.
Also, no wait, final note. Next week is a very special. Our next episode is a very, very, very special one. Should we say why?
Sure.
Our next episode will be our 1 year anniversary episode.
Yeah.
We'll probably do little fanfare for it. That it won't be the video face cam episode. That'll probably be episode 100, which will be a bigger milestone. But yeah, we will definitely acknowledge it. We will be very thankful. All right. Fuck off, Joe.
Right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Go to bed, Emerson.
Bye.
Bye.